Well, hello again, Martin here, back at the flat, and we're going to do a couple of little jobs today. Unfortunately, the carpet fitter was camera shy, so he didn't want to be filmed fitting the carpet, but all the carpets are now fitted, so we'll give you a quick tour on that. So today's job is this here. We're going to change all these switch plates because these are quite kind of the most basic you can get. So what we're going to do is change the switch plates for nice chrome ones. So we'll talk you through that, okay? Probably not what you're expecting the next clip to be, but I'm sitting here in my office and unfortunately one of the clips didn't record. It was quite interesting because as I was trying to take the faceplate off, one of the screws was stripped and wouldn't come out. So unfortunately I can't show you what we had to do, but we managed to get the screw out eventually, and let's continue from there, okay? Oh, another thing, also, what it didn't record was instructions on please make sure you turn all the power off. It was how to turn the power off, either for that circuit or for the whole house. So whenever you're doing electrics, please make sure the power is off first. Thank you. Okay, so eventually we got the screw out. That thread is completely stripped. Now, when that happens, you can get from the from your electrical wholesaler, wherever you buy your stuff, you can get a tap. These are M3.5. You can actually buy a tap, which is a little cutting tool. If that thread in there, let me show you. If that thread in there is damaged, you can get a little tool. It's almost like a screwdriver, but it has a tap on the end, and it will recut that so that the next time you put the new screw in, you won't have the same trouble I just did. So what we're going to do now, this is a very simple one. This is just a one-way, well, it's a two-way switch, but it's only used in one side. Actually, it's a two-way switch, but it's only used in one way. So it's just a straight interrupter. These are actually both live. This is your permanent live and that's your switched live. So we're just going to, it's very simple, just going to take these off, replace it with the same again. But this one, if you look, this was this way, up is always off. This was down for off. And if you look, it's marked top, which was actually at the bottom. So what we're going to do is we're just going to undo that. It's a very simple process. If you're at all unsure as well, of course, there are several things you can use to check the power is actually off. This is the most basic thing. Just pop that on the live, touch on there, and there should be nothing. If that was live, that little LED would light up. But as with all these tools, please check it first, because we don't know if this is working or not. So check it on something before you switch the power off. Pull this off very carefully. Check it on something which you know is live to make sure that this actually works first. So there we are, I'm going to take that one off. I've got a nice new one here. And it should have two nice new screws with it. Now it's marked top, bottom. So. Just pop that into there. As far as it will go, tighten up the screw. Like that, just check it. Put the next one down the bottom. There we are. And I like to bend these down so that they have a little easy point to. Now we have a little problem here because this box is quite deep and these screws aren't quite long enough. So I'm going to pop out to the car, get some different screws. So I'll be back in a minute. when I was down at the workshop, I picked up my little tool when I went to get the screws. So let's just show you how to do it. Let's see if we move in a little bit. Okay. So all we're going to do, this little tool is the thread cutter. And we just open it up here. Let's move that out of the way. And you just basically screw that in, and that will recut the thread for you. And you won't have any problems putting the new screw in. There we go. Simple as that. You can buy replacement screws which are much longer. You can get up to, I think, 75mm screws at most electrical wholesalers. See, that screw's going in perfectly okay now with the clean thread. Oh yeah, right, here we go, don't look at that. Right, just level it up. And silly little thing, but I like to have the screw slots vertical. There we are, job done. There we are, that looks a whole lot better. Okay, back in a moment. So I'm down on the floor for this one. This one's very low to the floor. Modern installations, this has to be 400mm up for ease of access. But these old ones are quite low to the floor, so I'm actually on the floor here, lying on my nice new carpet. So here we go. They're all clearly marked. This is earth. There's actually 2 earth positions on this, which is quite handy. That's the L for live, that's the N for neutral. So all I do is I open up with the screwdriver, I open up the port there, so it makes it easier. Now, I'm going to lay that on the ground, and I'm going to say that that live should be over there, and the neutral should be there, and the earth there. So we're just going to kind of sort them out to start with, in the somewhere near where they should be, like that. I'm going to put the neutral in, N for neutral. One moment. Okay, back again. These wires are 2.5 square millimeter. That's the cross-sectional area of the cable. And they're much stiffer, they're much harder to get in and out than the lighting, which is only either 1.5 or the modern equivalent is 1mm. The modern regulations allow for 1mm. So there we go. There is, hopefully you can see that. There is neutral, live, and earth all fixed in nicely. So what all you do is stick that back on there. Sometimes you've got to just bend these cables, help them along in some way or another. That's it. There we are. Can be tricky getting these in because you can't see where you're going. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to clean that thread out with my tool. Back in a mo. Right. Okay, here we go. And there we are. Much better. Vast improvement. So I'm going to carry on. Do the rest of the switches and sockets around the house, and we'll catch up with you later. Take care.